Hello, today I'm going to show you how to use Procreate. Procreate is the middle icon with the little rainbow swoosh on it. So if you'll just select that, it'll automatically open you up to your gallery wall. In your gallery is any of your previous artworks that you've made. You can see mine as we scroll. But we're going to make a new one today, so we're going to hit the plus sign in the upper right hand corner. And you'll see you get a couple of options. You can create a custom canvas or pick from one of the options that's already selected for you. You can pick inches, pixels, centimeters, however. Today I'm just going to pick my screen size. The first thing I do is I zoom out so I can see my whole canvas as I'm working. After I zoom out, I'm going to go ahead and go into the upper right hand corner and add a layer just so I can play around with that later. But I'm going to make sure I'm selected on the first layer, and then I'm going to pick a tool from my brush library. And you can see in the upper right hand corner it is just the little brush icon, and there are so many tools in here. There's anything you could ever need, but since I'm just going to play around, I'm going to pick one, and then I'm going to go back into the upper right hand corner and click the little black dot and find a color that I would like to play with. So you can either use the sliders or you can just pick in the big box what you want. I'm just going to play with this blue color so it's nice and easy to see. So I'm just going to paint some random crazy splotches on the canvas, and you can see as I use the sliders in the left hand corner, I can use the top slider to make my brush size bigger and my bottom slider to mess with the opacity of the brush that I'm currently using. So after that, I'm going to pick a different brush to add some different dimension onto my canvas, and I'm going to go ahead and change the color so you can see the difference. This brush is a little different. It's more of a fuzzy edged brush, so I'm just going to kind of play with this for a second just to show you a couple of different things later on. So I'm just going to kind of edge around the canvas, and now I'm going to show you what happens with your layer options. So I've selected my top layer, and I'm going to pick this kind of crazy yellowy green color. And I found this new brush, but I'm going to make it a little bigger. Again, I use my left hand slider to make my brush size bigger. So I'm going to paint this yellow crazy splosh all over, and then I'm going to select my layer, and I'm going to put it, if I hold it, I'm going to drag it beneath my blue layer. So you can see how if it's on top, you can see what's really going on, and if I move it below, you can't see it anymore. So to change your layer, all you have to do is hold it and drag it. So now I'm going to add on this big green thing to show you what the hand tool does. So I'm just going to add some green in the corners, and then I'm going to go in the upper right hand corner and click that hand. And so what the hand kind of does is mimic what you would do if you were actually painting on paper in real life. So it kind of smudges everything. The great thing about the hand tool is you can adjust it like just like a paintbrush. So I can make it bigger or smaller, or I can make it stronger or weaker, just like a regular paintbrush. So I'm actually going to make it really big just to show you guys. So see, it kind of just smears everything around, and it only smears on the layer I'm selected, so you're only seeing the green being smeared right now. So you don't have to worry about any of the other layers getting affected. And then I'm going to go back to that layer and I'm going to click it, and when you see as I click on it, you can change all of these different things in about the layer. You can rename it, you can select it, you can move it, you can fill it, whatever you need. And now we're going to look at the tools in the upper left hand corner. So first is the little wrench, and you can share out via that. You can do all these other fun things. Next is the magic wand, which I'm showing you now, and this allows you to make any kind of adjustments to your canvas. So you can change, this is changing its color, so I'm changing its color up. I can change it by shadow, midtone, or highlight. And then whenever you're done, simply just click on that magic wand tool and it'll get out of there for you. But again, clicking that magic wand tool, you can do so many other different things. Next is the S-shaped tool, or the ribbon tool, and it is the selection tool. And it's a little hard to see with this paintbrush effect that I've got going on, so I'm actually going to add in something for you guys to see me actually selecting. So I'm going to go back to my paintbrush, and I'm going to click something more like a pencil, and I'm going to just draw a little word for you guys. I'm going to draw art on my canvas. Okay, so now that I have art, I'm going to go back up to that S-shaped tool, and I am going to select. So there's a couple of different options when it comes to selecting. I'm going to do the freehand tool, and so as you see, I just selected that little portion of my art and I actually deleted it. So it doesn't look like it's removed, but in a little bit you'll be able to see. So now I'm going to go ahead and duplicate my selection. So look, now I have two different things, and you'll notice that part that I selected earlier right in the middle of that R is gone. So I did duplicate it, but I didn't duplicate the part that I had already removed. Once you have two selections, you can do whatever you want with them. You can flip them, you can rotate them, you can stack them one on top of each other. The selection tool is great if you have specific things like eyes or noses on your canvas that you would like to mess around with. I typically don't use it as much, but it does work great. The last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to export, so I'm going to go up to that upper corner and click the wrench tool and export it to a JPEG, and it'll save to my camera roll. And that's all. Thank you guys for watching and listening in. I hope you learned about how to use Procreate.